Peace and blessings, y'all. In this corner, Boston 24. Good afternoon. How's everyone doing today? Hope everybody's doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good on this side as always. God is great. God is good. And I definitely can't complain. So, I want to talk about a potential fight that could be in the works, that could be coming up. And that's Keyshawn, the businessman Davis, against Edwin De Los Santos. De Los Santos recently tweeted some things about him wanting to fight Keyshawn Davis, and he wanted to make sure Keyshawn didn't forget about the conversation that they had. And then Keyshawn responded by telling him to just sign the contract. So I want to talk about that, talk about the fight in general, because I'm hearing things on social media by certain people saying that Edwin De Los Santos can handle Keyshawn Davis because Keyshawn Davis doesn't have defense like Shakur Stevenson. Now, we know Edwin De Los Santos fought Shakur Stevenson, and he wasn't able to penetrate the defense. He also wanted to do some things that he couldn't do. And Shakur got a lot of slack because people said he was moving too much or he was running. He wasn't running. He just has great defense. Now, also, I'll say with Shakur Stevenson, he has a double step back move where he steps out of range and then he steps again. And honestly, he doesn't really need to step back twice like that all the time. It's good sometimes if you have a very aggressive fighter or a wild fighter that's throwing wild punches, but because he's a defensive counterpuncher, he really doesn't need to step out of range twice back to back like that, consecutively. But at the end of the day, he does that. That's what he does. It works for him. And he's a great defensive fighter. But on the flip side is Edwin De Los Santos wasn't able to cut off the ring. So when we try to criticize Shakur, we got to look at Edwin De Los Santos and say, why wasn't he able to cut the ring off? So that's on you. Whether I step back once, twice, or whatever I do, you got to be able to cut the ring off. He wasn't able to do it, okay? So Shakur started coming on in the mid to late rounds, and, he was tagging De Los Santos. And again, De Los Santos wasn't really able to do anything. He wasn't able to penetrate. So Keyshawn Davis, on the other hand, people saying he's not as defensive as Shakur, so this would be an easier fight for De Los Santos. He'll be able to get inside, he'll be able to penetrate. Well, if Keyshawn Davis is not as offensive as Shakur, he's in a class with a whole lot of other people. Because nobody, honestly, is in a class with Shakur as far as defense, because he's the best defensive fighter, not just at lightweight, but that's fighting right now. Shakur is that. He is the best defensive fighter that's fighting right now, and one of the best in this generation. Well, the best of this generation, and the best. And he'll go down as one of the best ever. Let me say that. That's how his defense is. So, of course, Keyshawn is not as defensive as Shakur. Nobody is. But Keyshawn is defensive enough to be able to beat De Los Santos and to make him miss and make him pay. Now, I don't know if Keyshawn made this comment or not, that he's not Shakur, telling De Los Santos, like, I'm not Shakur, I'm different. Whether he said it or not, you could take it one way, you could take it another way. The way I take it is, I got defense. You're not going to just be able to do what you want to do with me, but I'm going to push forward on you. I'm going to be more aggressive. And when I hit you, you're going to feel it. And when I buzz you, I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to drop you. I'm going to stop you. That's what I hear with that kind of comment. Keyshawn Davis, honestly, is a lightweight Terrence Crawford. Lightweight Terrence Crawford. Maybe at this stage of his career, just as polished at 135 as Crawford was at 135. I would say that. right? Remember, Crawford went from 135 to 154. So he went to 135, he went to 40, he was undisputed at 147. I'm not saying he wasn't good at 135, he was very good. But defensively, he probably wasn't as polished as Keyshawn is, and maybe even in his fight, right? But once he got to 140, 147, he stepped it up a little bit more. He got better and better and better. Keyshawn's at 135. So I'm just looking at him right now, what he does, the way he throws combinations, his footworks, his patience. He's like a little Terrence Crawford. He's like a lightweight Terrence Crawford. That's what he is. And he's defensively responsible to beat all these fighters at 135. But De Los Santos is who we're talking about today. And De Los Santos likes to hurt his opponents. He comes forward. He has a little aggression with him. I don't think it's going to work with Keyshawn because Keyshawn counters too. And Keyshawn throws combinations and he throws to hurt you. And I really believe that he will hurt De Los Santos and he will stop him somewhere in the mid rounds. 6 rounds, 7, 8, something like that. But in the beginning, he's going to show him that this is a different level. So it's a good fight, but Keyshawn is serious. He is the businessman. He takes care of business. Great name that he picked for himself. And I think this is a fight right here that takes him to another level. After just capturing that belt, I was at the Garden. I saw that fight. And if he fights De Los Santos, I'll be there for this fight. I really like Keyshawn because he don't talk about it. He is about it. And that's what the businessman moniker is. That's what that means. We ain't talking. We about the life. So I'm looking forward to the fight. I hope it does happen. But don't get caught up in what people saying, man. You got to deal with the facts. De Los Santos can't cut off the ring with somebody that has some footwork and some defense. He showed that with Shakur. Now, again, Shakur is different. But if he gets a little close to Keyshawn, then he got to worry about combinations being fired off. He got to worry about punches with bad intentions, knockout punches, punches that's going to hurt you. And we seen him down already when he fought Rayo Valenzuela, right? So we know he could hit that canvas. And I don't think Rayo was hitting like Keyshawn Davis. So it's going to be a good fight, though, while it lasts. Peace and blessings, y'all. And this is Corner Boxing 24. Please subscribe to the page. Please leave your comments. Let me know how you feel. Everybody enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.